How's it going, everybody? Rob here, back with another video. And, well, we're going to be doing another reaction. This time actually focusing on another channel that periodically I've been kind of looking at, or at least not looking at, but listening to in terms of their debates and conversations. That is the Whatever Podcast. For what I can gather with, at least from some of the episodes I've watched, you have this group that has created this podcast to, that is designed to, you know, discuss hard topics and either give criticism or like try to change the opinions of those who are guests of the podcast. Now, as far as I can tell, or at least what a lot of people complain about, is this particular podcast attracts the attention of a lot of people who are more so some of, actually, I would say, like, maybe 40% of the time involving people who are just in the adult content industry and giving, like, very, very bad takes on some of the topics discussed. But I'm looking at a 50-minute segment from a longer podcast where this individual, you guys can't see it because I have a thing up, but I'm going to try to, if you guys can see my cursor, in fact, like, if you guys see the box, I'm putting over the person in discussion. This person in the green, blonde hair, she had some very bad takes during their podcast, and this is like a 50-minute segment of that. It's called Andrew Obliterate Crazy Psychologist as she assaults I'm sorry, my grammar goggles is you know what? I gotta do something because I just copy and pasted this. Hold on. It just dawned on me. Hold on, before we even begin, because I did look this, like, in terms of this clip, it's on another person's, like, channel. Like, I'm waiting for the thing to... Okay. Give it a minute. Give it a second. Okay. I went and corrected a couple things on my own text for the bottom. But yeah, Andrew obliterates crazy psychologist as she assaults him, ending in crying. So, oh boy. I have it sped up a little bit so we can get through this in a timely manner. Here we go.
To grant to you, yeah, I don't care about how what I say makes a person emotionally feel if the purpose of the discussion is a disagreement.
First, I gotta say this, because I've watched a few of the podcasts. In terms of, like, the hosts, Brian and Andrew, like, I would say, actually, I think Andrew's more of a guest, but he's on there frequently. Brian tries his best to be kind of, like, neutral in a lot of the conversation, although in terms of, like, logic, they have to, he in terms of, like, a certain topics, he'll lean towards one side. Andrew is, I want to say, and somebody can correct me if they want to, but he seems kind of conservative, very, like, no nonsense, which in a degree I kind of appreciate a little bit. Anyway, let's go.
How your emotional state from there is totally irrelevant to me.
Do you know that that's a symptom
of what?
Psychopathy.
Psychopathy. hold on. I have never... Psychopathy. Psychopathy or psychopathic personality is a personality construct characterized by impaired empathy and remorse, and bold, disinhibited, I screw that up, or energetic traits. Okay. Genetic and environmental issues such as neglect or abuse by parental figures. Okay. And that's what classifies you as... Okay. Manifests itself as a set of core personality traits which allow one to disregard the rights of others in pursuit of impulsive, self-serving goals. Okay. I think towards the end of this, I have to ask the question, who's gonna fall under those traits more? Andrew or the woman on the right side?
Psychopathy doesn't exist.
It does.
It doesn't.
It's the lack of empathy for another's
Nope.
feelings.
Okay, so you're a psychologist, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that psychopathy is actually a medical psychological condition and that you can identify it in the DSM?
Yes, they can now brain scan you and tell if you have psychopathy.
Do you have your phone?
Yes.
Okay, can you pull up the DSM-5 and show me where it says anything about psychopathy?
I'm not talking about the DSM-5.
Well, he just asked you if it classifies. Like, I mean, that's something he just asked directly, right? Like, if it classifies as, you know, a certain behavior. And if I remember correctly, the DSM-5 is basically the guidebook for... I don't think that's the proper way of, like, talking about it, but it is the guidebook for discussing certain psychological or mental traits in an individual.
I'm talking
Well, then
about...
how do you categorize what is a psychological condition?
You can get a brain scan and your gray matter would show up differently than somebody without psychopathy.
That, first of all, when you talk about brain scans, that's really brand new tech. That's the same thing as when people say that you can do a brain scan to determine a gender. You really can't, because you have human
Correct.
variances in
The
sexuality.
gender is determined more by the hormonal makeup in the
brain
body
matter
system.
cannot determine if somebody is a psychopath, but even if it could, psychopathy in and of itself has not even been demonstrated to be harmful to society.
I'm going to try to read these comments, too. All right, this feminist is really on the whatever podcast, flashing her boring degrees and saying we are mind controlled by mushrooms. That was something she said in the podcast. Good Lord. I mean, if there was any mind control for mushrooms, it'd have to be, you know, cordyceps. But you don't want that. You honestly do not want that. I mean, let's face it. The Last of Us showed us a little bit of that. So, I'm gonna just end it right there because, like, not the video. I'm just gonna end that conversation there because then I'm gonna go on a full rant about Last of Us.
Psychopathy in and of itself could be a boon to society. For instance, you may need people who have completely unfeeling dispositions for certain jobs which need doing.
Yeah.
I agree, because we are all tools.
It's weird that she was, you know, trying to call him, you know, almost psychopathic in a sense, claiming he had a psychopathy or whatever it was. And now all of a sudden, like, in terms of saying, you know, it's necessary for certain jobs, she's like, oh, I agree. It's like, well, what's the problem then? If it's like, I'm not trying to justify it. It's just like, what's your point that you're trying to make, lady?
Tools, essentially, of the divine.
Well, I mean,
God.
sure,
You in your ideology would call it God.
Yeah, I would say
What?
that we're all definitely in.
I agree.
Have a
There's
telos from our
where our
creator.
Venn diagrams are crossing.
But
I believe we are all tools.
But I need to ask, just because I don't care what your emotional state is when we're having a discussion about something we disagree on, I don't understand why that would even indicate psychopathy. It's very common for stoic men.
I mean, people are allowed. I mean, in the end, I mean, okay, let's face it, there are those individuals that are basically you're with me or against me mentality, where if you don't agree with them on a certain topic, then automatically you're the enemy. And there was a point there's a point where originally people were allowed to have discourse. People were allowed to disagree, have different thoughts from one another. But now that sort of mentality is bad. That if I don't agree with one thing with an individual, then that means that I'm a bad person for disagreeing with a certain person's perspective or a certain person's like beliefs.
And to not care about the emotional status of a person who refuses to adhere
It's
to
very
logic.
common of men to be abusive. It doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, but now you're conflating two different things. So I would.
Wait, so is it right or wrong? I mean, what is it right or wrong? Because what? What?
Psychopathic individuals are abusive.
Yeah, but
Just
not all
because
abusive
it's
people
been
are psychopaths.
True, that's true. Some of them are narcissistic.
Yeah, but not all abusive people are narcissists.
Some of them are just trauma responding, and they overreact.
Not all of them are doing that either. Yeah, abuse.
Name a type of abuse that
from
somebody.
you is so broad that encompasses everything. Encompasses emotional,
it's the degradation.
physical, psychological.
It's the degradation. It's the calculated degradation of another individual without remorse, feeling, or care. It's not a trauma response, in other words. Now, what you saw of me in the last show was me trauma responding. So I did hurt people's feelings, and I said things that were, you could say, abusive. You could say abusive. But I really was. I have very complex traumas.
Okay.
I could spend
but isn't it
a lot
awful?
of time telling you about it.
I mean, we all have traumas and we all deal with it our own way. I mean, trauma is, in a sense, it's, let me correct myself. It's trauma. Like everybody has their own trauma. They deal with it their own way. And actually, I just said the same thing. What is this lady trying to say? I'm like,
awful convenient to say when I do it, it's excused. When you do it, it's because you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, you're a predator. I'm not.
What? Oh, really? Really? I mean, I guess according to the title, bullshit. Bullshit. Oh my gosh. Does this lady, like, not understand?
Well, you're not a predator?
No.
What makes me predatory and you not predatory?
I don't go out seeking to hurt people. You do.
Who do I go?
What does this say? Okay. I think this time around I might just have the subtitles off. All right, give her shots, shrooms, lines, whatever it takes. Let's get this party started. Oh God. I shouldn't have read that.
About to seek to hurt
me.
How did I seek to hurt you?
Yeah, it's like just because he disagrees, like because he has a different viewpoint than you, like that doesn't make any sense.
You are seeking to show the followers that I am basically not worth living, not worth speaking, not worth breathing.
Yeah, I'm like his reaction, like what does that even mean? I mean, if you have a bad take, you're gonna have a bad take, and people are gonna call you out for it. It's not like they're doing this. They're intentionally freaking I mean, I'm gonna say this. It's in terms of like Andrew, he's doing what he normally does in the podcasts, or at least in Brian's podcasts, where he has his thoughts, concerns, and in terms of his dialogue, his points. Normally a lot of the people come on, more specifically the women that come on, they don't agree with him, and when they can't make him budge at all, they assume that that this person, Andrew, is attacking them. I think it's crazy that this lady's trying to claim that he's a predator for, again, having a different opinion.
Talking about.
Not worth having an opinion. My opinion.
Well, if your opinion is bad, then yes, your opinion. So, look at
You are there.
Yes. If your opinion is bad. And honestly, I mean, you're allowed to be on the internet. Ultimately you're allowed to be on the internet. But if you're going to give a bad take, if you're going to give bad dialogue, then expect when people call you out for it. And I will say that's a big issue for a lot of content creators, where especially like, I would say especially the good ones that end up doing shady crap, is you have individuals that have influence. They do something that they're not supposed to, like, let's say for instance, a person, you know, creating a fake charity to raise money for themselves, and then, you know, trying to backpedal saying that, oh no, we sent it to charity, even though there's absolutely no receipts to the contrary. It's like, dude, you're gonna get called out. It's the nature of the beast in terms of the internet.
Very condescending person.
Try to juxtapose yourself. Put yourself in my shoes for a second, okay? Let us assume for a second that I had some knowledge. So
I was raised by your type.
Assume for a second. Well, they didn't raise you right, but assume.
Hold on, I need to make sure I got my Steam Deck up. Ha! Alright, because, yeah, I am going to go ahead and play a clip. If it plays. Oh, jeez. Okay, here it is.
Oh, shit! Burn! Burn!
Damn!
No, I just diverted to something else.
Okay, so anyway, back to this real quick. I was in the middle of talking. It's awful abusive of you to cut me off while I'm speaking.
It is.
I'm speaking.
I'm just giving you back your own medicine.
I'm speaking.
I'm giving you back your own medicine. I don't respect you.
I'm speaking.
I don't respect you.
I'm speaking.
I don't respect your thoughts.
So he's basically doing the same thing that she does. Okay.
So anyway,
I literally don't respect your thought process.
Who cares what you respect?
Who cares what you respect?
I mean, do you want
Why
to
should I care about you if you don't give a shit about me? I don't give a shit about you. If you don't, if you don't give a shit about me, I'm going to show you what it feels like to have somebody not give a shit about you.
You don't have to give a shit about anybody to give discourse. You really don't.
But I'm not going to gaslight you and pretend like I give a shit. I'm just going to tell you I don't give a shit about your type.
There's a difference.
I don't give a shit about you. You're a piece of shit. You're only here because your sex life sucks.
I actually
do you want to?
Wait, I love, like, that, as soon as she says that, Brian's like, the fuck? Dude! So, because this lady can't get her way, she starts resorting to attacks. You gotta love that too, especially with, you know, I want to say people who try to debate. A perfect example is the Onision debates. For those who don't remember, Onision was going around and debating individuals that that didn't like him. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. Those weren't debates, and I would say, if anything, it was more of him going around and trying to insult the individuals that he's had discourse with, or at least the people that don't like him. In terms of the debates, he would try to, and this is normally the format, where he would set up a live stream, like say, hey, anybody get on and debate me. And a lot of times people not being fully prepared, not having their points completely set up, and when things derailed, they derailed hard. And it gave Onision the opportunity to basically insult them, you know, call them out, or at least not just call them out, but, you know, claim they're not wrong, or claim they're wrong because they don't have the evidence necessary to, you know, mention their claim. So, in terms of a lot of people like that, again, it was like we're seeing here, this lady can't get her way. So, in terms of, you know, this conversation, because she can't get her way with Andrew, she's going to go out of her way to insult him. She can't say anything coherent that makes sense, so she's going to try to resort to attacking him. attacking his personality, attacking the way he looks, attacking, you know, his sex life, you know, whatever she can grab on.
You want to go there?
Yeah, go there. You're only here because you abuse your children.
Okay. I thought.
Ooh.
I thought. Well, hang on. You can dish it out, but you can't take it.
That's, you know what? I gotta give Andrew that. I gotta give Andrew that a little bit, because you have this woman who's like going out of her way to insult him, and then when Andrew fires back, it's like, oh, you're the one in the wrong. Like, no, bitch, you're the one that started it. Like, okay, I'm sorry if I'm sounding heated, but good lord, you started it. You started by taking pot shots at him.
I gave you explicit boundaries that you were
And
not
I just
supposed
broke
to
your
cross.
boundaries because I don't give a shit. Because I don't give a fuck.
You didn't give me boundaries. Get your wife on the phone.
What would you like to talk to her about?
I would like to ask her how the sex is.
Okay.
Wait, that's great. Come on, that's...
I really would.
Look, we gotta...
I can't. I was married to your type. I mean, we can call my ex-husband if you want. He might answer. You never know. You two would get along. You'd be besties. He's a real winner, by the way.
I don't know. This just like listening to this person right now, they seem kind of immature. They seem like not know what they're talking about. I don't know if they would be classified as a friend.
Wait.
Look, if...
I mean, he probably is. He divorced you, right?
No, I divorced him.
Oh!
Oh shit! Burn! Burn!
That was that pot shot.
Oh, well, I mean, that actually makes more sense.
So look, if you want Andrew to respect the boundaries, you can't be slinging...
But here's the thing, Brian.
Yeah.
He didn't give me boundaries. He didn't...
Yeah, but you no. You can't. Okay, I'm sorry. I keep pausing, but lady, you attacked first. You attacked him first. You tried to go basically attack his you know, his life or his habits with his wife. And you think that you're not gonna get away with that? Or you think you're gonna get away with that? What? What? No.
give me. I gave him boundaries. He did not say you can't do this. You
You
can't do
said
that.
you're responsible for my
Listen,
emotional health.
We can put the no button in the middle, and you can use it too if you would
Okay.
like. Do you need
Yes, put it
boundaries too
there.
and consent?
Yes, put
Do
it
you need
there.
a safe word? It's no.
Put it there. So here's the boundary.
Now you feel safe. You
Ready?
can say no whenever you want.
Okay. When I hit the no, that means stop talking.
Okay.
Okay.
Agreed.
Do you think you do that?
Can I show my ass on camera every time you say no?
No.
What? Why?
Why?
Because that would violate the terms of service.
Yeah, and it's their show.
What's the terms of service that I
That you
can't show
can't
ass?
show your ass.
Oh, don't pull that shit. Don't pull that shit. It's like, what's the term? Like, dude, don't act dumb. And then you do this, and then people don't fucking take you seriously. Come on.
Ass on camera?
I never signed anything that said I couldn't.
Even, oh my gosh, you're fucking. Oh my god. No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Play the button. Uh-oh. For some reason, my thing isn't working. That's weird. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I guess we don't have, that. That's bull. Let me close and start again. I'm gonna just, if it comes back up, I'm gonna.
So you're gonna
We're
break
on
the
YouTube.
TOS?
What's the TOS?
Nick, just intro if you have to.
What is it?
It means
We're on YouTube and Twitch. You can't show.
You guys, I'm old. I don't know what these things are.
You know what YouTube is.
That's so stupid. Yeah, like, don't act stupid. You know what it is. Like, I don't get this. Like, why act stupid? And yes, I did switch the... If it sounds higher, I did switch the mic volume or to mic setting from my regular mic to the voice mod. So, anyway. Yeah, it's like, dude, why are you acting stupid? You know what the terms of service is. And you know, and I'm assuming you've, in terms of coming on, you know their criteria. So why are you trying to play dumb? And be disrespectful?
I don't know the rules. Do I seem like I follow rules?
Okay, but would you...
If you don't seem like you're even rational or coherent.
True.
I'm not rational to mainstream society. I'm not. So I'm a divergent.
Okay,
obviously.
You can be divergent and be rational.
No, not necessarily.
It sounds like that fucking, like, the thing from, it kind of reminds me of that concept from, the movie The Glass Onion, the sequel to Knives Out, where you have the people that are disruptors. You're a divergent. The stupid fucking title. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what's that supposed to mean? A divergent. Like, so actually, if anything, it almost sounds like it's almost in the same vein of like fucking oh gosh, what are those people that try to claim that they don't follow, laws, or they don't have to follow laws? I cannot remember, but I'm sure somebody in the comments will let me know. But you have this mentality where you don't have to follow any laws or rules that are mainstream or in public society. No, you can't do that.
No, yes. Not these days. No, you can't.
Yes, you
no,
can.
you literally can't.
Yeah, you literally can.
Do you like Trump? Are you supporting Trump?
Means?
How's this supporting? Like, what? How do we get from them telling you not to show your ass on stream for showing it on YouTube and Twitch to now, like, oh, do you support Trump? Like, what's that got to do? Like, what's the correlation there? What's the correlation? That is such a dumb fucking connection to try to make.
Really doesn't mean what you literally
supporting
think.
Trump? I'm asking you a question.
Yes.
Look at you.
Of course.
Okay, look at there's an area our Venn diagram intersects.
So what does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Let's say.
Okay.
Let's just pretend.
Okay.
Trump was my dad.
Uh-huh.
Let's just pretend.
Yeah.
Would you give me a little more respect?
No.
No. No, I would. I mean, if you have a person that acts like this, I would not respect them. I would not go near them. I would, from the song of the Grinch, I would was it a 12-foot pole? I can't remember, but I would not be. I would try to move to another state or country just to stay away from a person like this.
No.
None?
No. I treat you exactly how you treat me. I usually match people's energy. So if they're being lunatic assholes, then I'm lunatic assholes.
No, it's not the same.
Same.
Yeah.
High five.
No.
So just so you know, I don't want to touch you. Don't want to touch you. But here's the thing.
He's like, yeah, I don't want to touch you.
Right? No, don't do it. Don't touch me. Don't.
Oh my God! Did she just do what I thought she was gonna do? Yeah, they closed it because, yeah, she did something she was not supposed to do. Holy shit. That... So after... I'm gonna let it...
It's that dangerous?
Okay. So, after they just told her no, she still goes out of her way to do it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people like this? Seriously. Like, they just told you no. And it's funny. I'm gonna have a little bit of a hot take, but you know, honestly, in terms of, I find it's, and I'm gonna say this too. I'm not justifying it. I'm not justifying what happens to women, but you have situations where, you know, it's been made very clear that you need to have consent to interact with women, and women's thoughts and feelings matter. But in terms of like men's feelings and how they're treated, sometimes women don't give a fuck, and this is a perfect example. They told her no, flat out fucking no, not to show her ass or go near, and Andrew's like, yeah, no, don't come near me. She fucking goes near him and starts shoving her ass in his face. Which, good, and like I said, good thing that they like cut it off where you don't see it, but she fucking just disregarded Andrew's feelings on that. You know, I'm gonna say this, in terms of consent, it works both ways.
Nick,
My ass is literally that dangerous?
You were told no. There's a particular word I want to use, but I'm trying my best not to use it for this individual, because that's the way they're acting. I'm kind of grinding back and forth to whether or not I should use it, because this lady is borderline. You know, actually, it's funny. She tried to claim that Andrew was this. I'm gonna say this. She's acting psychotic. That's what she is.
Huh?
My ass is literally that dangerous?
Bro, you wouldn't do this. You do realize we're a show, right? We don't want to show that shit.
Yeah.
You don't want to show ass? Then why do you have an OnlyFans?
As a parody, I think. I think that's what it is, right? Is like they don't post anything. It's just a parody.
What does that even... What are you talking about?
Why do you have an OnlyFans?
We have a meme page. We don't post anything on it.
Why do you...
Yeah, it's a meme. It's a fucking joke.
There's nothing on it.
Why do you target
Yeah.
OnlyFans girls?
What are you even talking about?
Why do you target OnlyFans girls?
What does that have to do with us not wanting for you to show nudity?
You literally target basically porn stars.
I don't even know what that means.
You don't know what targeting a porn star means?
You'd have to explain to me what that even means.
Are most of your guests not in the sex industry?
No, it's actually we've gone through painstakingly all our episodes to get statistics, age, relationship status, all this stuff. Less than 30% of the guests that we've had on the show are involved in sex work.
Who makes you the most money?
The non-sex workers,
Really?
actually. And how would that even be relevant?
I'm just collecting data.
You bullshit. You're trying to find an excuse to being a fucking asshole.
Do you think we keep track on like the clip from this specific person? It's honestly
I would think you would.
Our most
The analytics.
viral moment. Our number one most viral moment wasn't a sex worker.
What is it?
Hold on. And then our most viral moments in general typically have anything to do with sex workers.
Oh, what is
In
the
any
most
case,
viral moments?
You can't be showing your ass.
Why?
Because
Because it's the term, lady. If you can't understand that, then why the fuck are you on? On certain platforms, Twitch, YouTube, etc., you are not allowed to show fucking nudity. It's in their terms of service, and doing something like that is gonna. You know what? I'm gonna say this. How much you want to bet she tried to do that on purpose? Like, I mean, obviously she was doing it on purpose, but how much you want to bet she was trying to get their stream shut down? She more likely knows the terms of service. She's playing dumb and acting and not even caring about. And again, it's funny that she wants to claim about, people, people not caring about her feelings, but going out of her way to not care about the feelings of other people and trying to literally disrupt the stream with her trying to show her ass.
just said so.
I can't show my ass on the internet. I do it all the time.
On your you can do it on your platform, but you can't do it here.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to sexually assault people.
Oh.
And that's another thing too.
Was that sexual assault?
That actually technically was sexual assault.
Oh, well, now
Yeah.
you know how I feel.
It did.
This lady's like a grade A bitch. She is. She's a grade A bitch. A psychotic bitch. I'm getting a little bit heated. I'm sorry.
Who's
Did
sexually
somebody
assaulted?
here sexually assaulted?
I didn't say sexual, but
Yeah, but you just
emotionally,
did. You just sexually assaulted.
you
If my
have
wife was here,
you
you wouldn't be on this earth.
That's
I promise.
fine.
I love the whole like rights for me, not for thee mentality from this one. Good lord.
That's fucking fine, because at least I could handle something in the realm of fucking visual.
Okay, let me.
I
coherence.
draw the line at sexual assault.
Okay, so do I.
Yeah,
so
no,
when
you
I say
just
I have a
literally tried to
boundary,
sexually assault.
so when I say I have a boundary
When
with
you come over to me and lift up your whole dress and try to move your ass into
how
my
does it
face,
feel?
that's sexual assault.
So when you try to impose
Yeah.
That is not sexual
hierarchical
assault.
ideologies to me, that is energetic
Not
assault.
sexual assault.
Why did my body register the last time I
don't
was here
care
with
what
you
your body
as a rape?
registered.
My body registered
All right.
it as a rape.
Would I emotionally rape you?
Yes, yes, you did.
Whoa.
Humans
Hold on, I have to pause the TTS. Okay. Say that one more time.
I had to emotionally process the last episode the same way, the same exact way that I.
All right. I think this is his wife. For Andrew, I think this is his wife. Andrew is a loving, caring husband. 12 out of 10 sex. People don't even know. Debating is only his second best talent. Oh,
I had to
shit!
emotionally process
That's not-
every
just
single
repeat-
rape that I've
there's
experienced.
There's a TTS that came through. Just repeat what you said. That's not what you said. Repeat what you said.
Honest, I don't know when I said when.
You said that you were what?
Okay, sorry. Andrew will always bring in the most money. He is the GOAT. Love your podcast. Gets me through the day at work.
Emotionally raped by Andrew.
I don't know how to respond to that. You can be emotionally distressed, but you can't call it rape or sexual assault or SA, so to speak. But either way, I mean, you can't classify it as that. You could claim you're distressed, that you're upset, but you can't claim it as that. Especially when you just got called out for literally sexually assaulting another individual. It's not only stupid, but hypocritical. And he's just laughing
and then
about.
he's laughing about affecting
Yeah, because it's stupid. Like, what you're saying is fucking stupid.
a woman feeling emotionally raped by him as if he doesn't give a shit. How
It's
he
not-
affects
When
anybody.
people, do you usually try to sexually assault people you feel have emotionally done that to you?
I assault
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
people who
donated
assault me.
$100.
Hold on, let us go
Desiree,
through.
you need to cut Andrew off more and not allow him to speak. This is how you can win the debate. You need to frustrate him and not allow him to make a point, and don't answer anything direct.
Okay,
Yes,
hold
sir.
on. There's another one coming in. We'll let the original one come in. Thank you, Christine, I guess.
He looks like he's done. Brian looks like he's done.
Naruto 2.0 donated $100. Only in decadence is this possible. Humans can't easily impart knowledge to offspring. Individuals pigeonholed. Please. Sure, let your child touch the fire. You wouldn't want to pigeonhole them.
All right,
Pathetic.
Naruto, thank you, man. Nick, something about Grid 1? His TTS did not come through? Are we good? Oh, okay. And then we have Pelagic here. Pelagic, this is what a psychopath looks like. Okay. So, thank you, Pelagic. Now,
In page 71 of your book, you say basically all the greats, including myself and Jesus, with whom you categorize yourself, with whom I have quite a spicy relationship with now, wink, wink. What did you mean by that?
Because I talk about, if you actually read my whole book, I talk about that one of my reoccurring fantasies, can I go there?
Yeah.
Was basically something that I had tried to repress my whole time of being a Christian, was a fantasy of Jesus sitting on the throne and me essentially riding him face to face. And I was always shamed.
Please tell me, no, my buttons aren't gonna work. Yeah. What the fuck? Like, seriously, what the actual fuck? Like, she's not talking. She's talking about Jesus Christ, isn't she? What the fuck? By the way, we're only like, I want to say we're not even like halfway through. Maybe like a quarter. Oh my gosh, this lady's crazy!
Aiming myself and pushing that fantasy away until finally the death of a friend in my arms basically fucked me up so bad that everything that I thought was true exploded. And
that was like very sporadic. Like, is it just me? Like, I don't want to sound like a dick, but didn't that seem very sporadic for her to start crying? It seems like that was more of like trying to get an emotional response.
And I finally started allowing in every part of me, including the dark and the things that I had previously disowned from myself and shamed. I let it come in, and what I realized was that my sexuality wanted to reintegrate with my spirituality. And my spirituality at the time, because I was coming out of a Christian ideology, my spirituality at the time was the conceptualization of my creator, of my divinity, as being incarnate in Jesus. And so what I realized was, in allowing that fantasy to be alive in my body, was that I simply wanted oneness and face-to-face, eye-to-eye contact with the fullness of God.
Good Lord.
So Jesus was your boyfriend, essentially, in your head?
My husband.
Your husband?
Yes.
Okay. And you wanted to sleep with him?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Not blasphemous at all, you don't think?
No.
Yes, that is. I mean, any Christian would look at that and be like, no, you're fucking blaspheming. That's blasphemy. In the Christian community eyes. I mean, hell, if they're calling, I mean, let's face it. You have individuals that are claiming that, you know, Deadpool calling himself the Marvel Jesus, not Jesus Christ, the Marvel Jesus, is satanic. Hearing something like that where you're claiming you're freaking riding Jesus Christ, no, like, yeah, a lot of people would, you know, classify that as blasphemy. This is insane. Oh, good Lord. Just... Alright, I need a pause. I'm gonna transition, because I gotta step away for a second. This is so dumb. It really is. Okay, I had to step away. Gosh, dang it. And I forgot to turn on my thing. On. I had it shut off for a bit. Alright, oh gosh, let's continue this.
No, he created sex, and he created me.
Yeah, but he didn't create you to fuck him.
To have sex with him?
Yes, we're very intimate.
How intimate?
You know, there's a word for that type of, like, that type of imagination. It's called delusion. It's called just flat out delusion.
Very.
Oh.
It's so intimate, I would say that it's no longer me running my life, it's him.
Jesus runs your life?
Christ consciousness, yes.
Oh, Christ consciousness.
Yeah.
What is that?
The empowered consciousness. Basically, the antithesis of victim consciousness.
That sounds made up.
So,
Couch_hopper_outdoors donated $100. Wilson's wife said his second is a 12/10ths. Also, stop crying, you victim.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
She left a comment that
What?
Rachel, his wife Rachel, left a comment that it's a great relationship, great marriage.
Oh, I think she's saying the sex life.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Your sex life is great. I'm glad to hear it.
I didn't say anything about it.
Oh, well, your wife. Apparently, that was
You
your
said
wife.
something about it.
I was asking, can we call his wife? And apparently, she left a
Well,
comment, so we didn't have to.
I mean, actually, if Rachel's, we could have her do a call and
Yeah.
if she's cool with it.
if she wants.
Just so you can hear directly from.
Sure.
But would you say that Andrew coached her, coached her?
I bet she would. I bet she'd they say flat out like, "Oh, you coached your wife, you dude." Fuck off.
Or, you know,
Into victimhood.
that like he's controlling like.
Oh my
upstreams,
gosh.
Do I need to say that?
You don't have to say that.
Because you did.
But she's going to. She more likely is going to.
You already said it for me.
I'm just asking.
I'm just asking.
Oh, you already said it for me. Like, dude, fuck off. Oh my gosh, this is so stupid.
Well,
Because she's gonna come on and say Andrew's dope, Andrew's
okay.
awesome.
Okay. Well, then,
Love
if
Andrew.
we already know what she's gonna say, and
But
we
she
already
is-
know that there is a
but she has
opposing
changed it,
theory
so-
that supposedly
She has changed it, so
there is
I
a
know.
thing whereby females are fawning. It's called a fawn response, where we please. Been there, been a wife a couple times. So
Clearly not a good one if you were divorced.
if you think it's worth it to have her on, we can. If you
You
don't,
asked
it's
for her,
not.
not me.
I'm deferring to you because you're her
Isaiah
leader.
Fruit donated $100. Jesus would have hung her on the cross.
Oh, that no.
Isaiah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. There's a delay in that one coming in. Thank you, Isaiah. Appreciate it, bro. Should we do a voice call, or is she set up on Discord?
I don't think it would be easy for her to move over to Discord.
I'm deferring to you. If you can be a representative of what she would say, and you guys already
No, let's get her on the phone.
posed
Tell
the
her.
opposing
Let's just-
possibility,
Let's just ask if she's cool with it.
I'll ask her.
Yeah.
you could even just have her question in or comment in.
Yeah.
But I
we're
thought
working on
that was her response to what I had said. I thought she already made her response, and that you're a 12 out of 10. Apparently, you're an amazing husband.
Yeah, but I think if you hear it directly from her,
That was that not directly from her?
You hear it in her voice.
I saw her say
I think-
what I'm asking. What difference?
Yeah, I'm not
in
doing
her
it.
opinion,
Never
he's a
mind.
12 out of 10.
No.
No.
Is Rachel gonna go off?
She just said, read her my text from last night. And no, we're not going in.
Okay.
That's not
all right.
happening.
Okay.
So I accept the fact that from Rachel, your wife's perspective, you are a above and beyond husband. You're an amazing husband.
Okay.
But where's the but? Where's the but? Not hers, but
She thinks so. So that's I'm happy for her.
Killer of Cereal donated $100. No BS. We have a sign in my town that says, Jesus comes quickly. It all makes sense now. This woman lives in an extremely fantastical world where objective reality isn't rough.
Killa Cereal, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the TTS. Do you have a response to Killa?
I'm not really honestly sure what he's trying to say.
The whole fantastical world where objective reality doesn't exist, that whole thing?
Well, that was his opinion. I'm not going to argue with somebody's opinion of me.
Okay. All right.
clearly you were a little bit ago.
He's
So I
entitled
do
to
want
his
to come
opinion.
back. There's actually
All right, this woman can't be real. This must be a troll, right, guys? Please don't tell me this is real. She essayed Andrew and is crying seconds later. Where did they find this psycho?
before I get back to one thing, in an email you sent me, you said you have personas like Eminem, Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers.
Okay, that one's the same
It's
thing.
a thing for us genius black ghetto slave souls inside sexy white bodies.
Yeah. Well, you guys weren't that interested in hearing about my.
I was interested. I'm interested.
Are you interested?
About the black ghetto slave soul inside, or
What part of it were you interested in?
well,
What?
You said you guys weren't that interested in.
Well, so it goes back to my talk about white supremacy and trying to explain that it's an energetic matter. It's an ideology. It's a matter of ideology.
Wait, we did want to hear it, but then you hit the no button.
Well, because it did not seem that you really wanted to understand. It seemed that you wanted to propagate a particular ideology, and that's exactly what I was trying to talk about, but I wasn't...
Oh, Lord.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I'd like to explain the concept from my worldview so that you understand.
Cable donated $100. Madison, blink twice slowly if you're in danger.
That was funny. Blink twice slowly.
So imagine from my perspective, right, that I see that there's a whirlpool and you're in a boat, and everything that goes near this whirlpool gets sucked down, okay? And I say, listen, you're in this boat, but if you go towards that whirlpool, it's going to suck you down. And you go, no, listen. From my perspective, it's not a whirlpool. It's a, I don't know, fucking zazzily baz. You call it a zazzily baz. And you go, and I think I can just sail right through it. And I go, no, stupid. It's a whirlpool, and you're going to get sucked down into it, and you're going to die. Don't do that. And you go, no, I'm going to do it anyway, and you just go out and you get sucked down the whirlpool, right? Mm-hmm. That's how it is with ideologies, too. So when somebody says to me, they're like, it's just my ideology, therefore it's just my opinion, and so therefore you trying to say anything about it isn't correct. It's like, no, I think it is. I think it's fine to say, see that vortex there? That makes no... Hang on. I'm almost done.
Okay.
Okay, so that little whirlpool or whatever that you're about to go down, right? Just trying to go, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, so you're trying to be my daddy?
No, I'm not trying to be your daddy.
No, he's making a point. He's making a point about ideologies. I mean, certain ones are wrong. Certain ones are at least in some sense, certain ideologies have to be questioned. Not everybody is going to agree or disagree with what you say, but there are some times where, certain ideologies, certain ideas, certain thoughts are harmful to people.
Do that for a total stranger.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not really interested
I don't know if this is appropriate or not.
in being protected by you.
It's not an interest of you. It's an interest for me. Whether or not you're a person who says, I'm going to pour gasoline on myself and light a match because I want to do this, because I want to be immolated and completely cook myself, and I see you going for that match, I'll still stop you anyway.
But the damage that you did to me in the last show, if I...
What damage?
I was not such an emotionally stable person, I would have gone home and killed myself.
Okay, so it's really funny.
I didn't feel protected by you emotionally.
I'm not there to protect you.
I thought you just said that you weren't.
He's not there to protect you. He's not there to, hold your hand. Something I've seen about Andrew, in terms of the podcast, he's not there to hold your hand. He's not there to basically, coddle you. He's not there to agree with everything you say. He's basically there as a sort of discourse. That's in terms of, something I will say I like about Andrew is... He is no nonsense. If there's something he disagrees with, he's going to question it. And a lot of times, especially with a lot of the people, the guests that come on here, a lot of them have really bad takes.
Listening to what I'm saying that I'm making a comparison to an ideology and saying to you that I'm not going to keep your fragile ideology intact or not destroy the fragile ideology if it's bad, because that in some way is going to be
she's not even paying attention. She's basically just fiddling around with herself.
Emotionally painful. That's cognitive dissonance. That's what that is. It is emotionally painful to shrug off bad ideologies.
Yeah.
That's true. It's just like saying, okay,
she's not even focused. She's doesn't even want to hear something right there shows she doesn't care about what he has to say, or if she wants to really kind of take to heart what he has to say, because she's basically just failing with her necklace, not paying attention.
Okay, my leg is broken. Okay, well, it healed wrong. I got to break it again so it heals right. It's the same thing. And the more you propagate bad ideology, the more you're going to see your ideology get broken over and over and over and over and over and over and over as the leg gets reset time and time and time again. You call that emotional grape, right? I call it logic and reason.
Okay.
I got a couple questions. You said that I don't want to reuse the words you precisely used. You said that you went home and wanted to harm yourself because of your experience on the show?
No, I was saying that if I was less emotionally stable, I could see how I would do that.
We've had over 1,000 people on the show. They're all fine.
When you sexually assault
They're
men,
fine?
couldn't that be the result of that too?
Could it?
Couldn't it be the result when you sexually assault men?
Did you feel in danger?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, yes. Of course, any woman who's not my wife, who in any way tries to put sections of her body near me like that in a sexually provocative way, is fucking dangerous as hell, yeah.
Yeah. And she showed zero regard. It's funny, again, it's rights for me, not for thee. She wants to claim that, you know, Andrew's doing all this, but she goes out of her way to basically try to shove her ass in his face, her bare ass in his face, and claim that that's try to justify that being okay, when in reality, and it's wrong. It's very, very clearly wrong to do something to a woman. It should be very clearly wrong to do something to a man without their consent. But unfortunately, I think for a lot of people, it is very one-sided.
Oh.
Yeah, they're horribly dangerous.
I'm just curious. Had Andrew done something similar and he exposed himself?
Yeah, went over and just whipped it out. That would have been okay.
I would be comfortable with that.
Oh my god.
Do you think most women would?
I'm not most women.
Right, but Andrew's not like you.
Because here's the thing.
Andrew's not like
but here's the thing. That's not passive aggressive. That is you literally showing me.
Has this lady ever referred to a stranger at the grocery store as a effing accuser for the effing brethren?
Exactly what you're trying to do. When you use psychological tactics and emotional manipulation based off of my trauma responses, that is passive aggressive. That is then you trying to manipulate and hurt me. Rather than I would literally.
What tactics? He's only spoken his mind so far, has continued to do so.
Rather you pull down your pants and put your dick in my face. Then I know what I'm dealing with. I did not know what I was going to be dealing with in the last show.
Yeah,
so it felt like that's what I'm saying. It felt like a manipulation and an emotional rape
Yes,
because I did not know. I thought I was literally coming on a dating podcast.
So I can understand from the perspective of saying that you'd rather see immediate action other than what you would consider to be passive aggressive or manipulative.
I would just rather see put your cards on the table.
So other than manipulative tactics, right? When you're saying manipulative tactics, you're saying you would much rather see somebody be physically aggressive.
Yes.
Sure, I can understand that. That at least makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But isn't it also a form of passive-aggressive manipulation to say, because I have trauma responses to perceive things, you don't know anything about me, there was no way for you to ever determine what these trauma responses would be, that me just having a normal conversation with you like I would anybody else on this show and have done 1,000 times, isn't that a form of manipulation?
Well, you had disclosed to me that you were not affected emotionally by anybody.
So
really.
did you. Same thing you said.
Oh, damn.
Deeply emotionally affected by people.
No, what you said to me was, you said, listen, this isn't a big deal, right? This conversation in this context doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. That's what you said.
When?
But you said, this doesn't matter. I have no respect for you. And if I was a less emotional person, I would have gone home and off myself. I can handle it, right?
No, I was not saying that I had no emotion. I was saying if I had less emotional intelligence and tools to process those emotions, I could understand with this bullying that people experience, which I had not honestly experienced anything like this before. Nothing like it at all.
Yeah, I never experienced anything like that either.
Yeah.
I never experienced a woman trying to sexually assault me.
So now at least I feel like we're on the same playing field.
Yeah,
No, you're not.
Well, it's not the same playing field to physically sexually assault somebody versus your perception of guy-made argument, which hurt my feelings.
Yeah, there's a difference. There's a very, very major difference to somebody who has discourse, somebody who is disagreeing with you, to shoving your bare ass in their face.
Or he emotionally raped me. That's absurd.
Okay.
That's like not in the same universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Let me add on to that. There's a difference between, again, giving somebody giving discourse as well as arguing their case to basically shoving your bare ass in their face without their consent. There we go.
Weird logic, right? It's not the same.
Wait, hold on. Welcome to the Demonetized Podcast. I'm your host. Oh shit.
You want me to tell you when?
I mean, yeah.
Is that,
yeah, you know what? Yeah, say Andrew.
So all I'm trying to do is literally get to the point of, do you want me to get on my knees and submit?
No. All I want you to do is engage with the arguments. That's it.
I think that's it. that's not much to ask for, like, really.
So that you can fuck with me?
No,
Not to fuck. Oh my god. Are my buttons working now? Please tell me my buttons are working. No, they're not. God damn it. I really wish I had those right now.
so I can understand your worldview.
So you can monetize fucking with me?
No, so that I can understand your worldview.
You understand my worldview?
Really?
Hold on. Freaking A, man. Oh my gosh. This is so stupid. Like, my head's starting to hurt. Just listening to this crap. Oh my god. Okay, I had to step away for a second again, but to update my Steam Deck because I seriously need the button. So this is the button I've been wanting to press for a while.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Exactly. All right, let's go.
Lee?
That's why you're
Every
picking
time
it
I ask
apart.
you a question about it, I lead to the next, to the next, to the next, and I still don't actually get coherent answers.
Yeah.
Maybe that's well thought out on my part.
No, it's...
Is it supposed to be stupid?
Freaking A!
Oh yeah, stole your pen. It's well thought, so you don't want to tell me what your ideology is?
I don't want to tell my brain that you give a shit about understanding me because it's not actually true.
Yeah, listen, I would not be here if I didn't give a shit about other
False.
people's worldviews.
False.
No, it's not false.
False.
Oh my
I promise
god.
you
What's
I
your
would not
job,
be here.
Andrew? What's your
I'm a
credentials?
robotics mechanic.
A robotics mechanic? What's your degrees in?
I don't have a degree.
How are you a robotics mechanic and you don't have a
Because I have
degree?
an apprenticeship, and it's a trade.
Yeah. I mean, you can... You know, that's... Oh my gosh. She tried to do... If you don't have a degree, you can't talk about what I feel... Like, dude, no. 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 You don't have to have a fucking degree to be knowledgeable on some shit. I mean, seriously. I'm gonna play another button.
Okay, so similar to
You are
life
made
coaching, let's
of
say?
No, it's not similar to life coaching, let's say.
It's a trade, though.
Yeah, it's a real trade.
Okay. Question for Desiree. Do you think it's emotionally traumatic for you to essay my husband in front of thousands of people? True! Even the wife is saying it. Oh!
So life coaching is not a real trade?
I don't know.
Do people make a living doing it?
Sure.
So what is your definition of a trade?
So to me, a trade apprenticeship would be like an applied skill.
Oh, Brian took off. I wonder what happened.
So life coaching is an applied skill?
Okay, don't worry, Andrew. That won't hold up in court of law. Her, on the other hand, why was it necessary to put her butt in his face? Was that a trauma response? Is your emotional intelligence intact?
No, I don't think it's a.
So why would you have to go? Why would you have to go to a trade school to learn how to do it then? If it's not a skill that you have to learn
I'm not sure
and
that those
apply.
are trade schools. I'm not sure.
Give me the definition of a trade. Aren't you learning how to a skill to perform a trade that you can monetize?
Yeah, but they couldn't. I mean, that would fall under anything, though, right?
Anything that you can monetize and you have to learn how to do it, I would call that a trade skill,
okay.
right?
Well, I mean, if that's your definition, I'll concede to the definition.
Okay, so I am. So you have no degrees in psychology. You have no ministry degrees. You've never been to any ministry
Those
school.
are just appeals to authority.
Appeals to authority. So
Why
you
would
want
that matter?
so you want me to
Exactly.
appeal to your authority, yet you literally
No,
have
asking you to
a two-year
appeal to authority.
two-year training program in how to do robotics.
No.
You don't. It's really funny where people like try to go to this argument that because you don't have a degree in psychology, because you don't have a degree in in this and that, then you can't discuss it. No, people are allowed to especially if people have experience with certain topics, or in some major sense, if people have a discussion or want to discuss the topic, they're allowed to talk about regardless of what knowledge they have or what degree they have. there's, especially in the U.S., you know, people are allowed to speak freely. I mean, it's one of the amendments for our country, which is, and by the way, the first one.
What does that have to do with anything? Let's assume that you know what? Let's assume
The point
this.
is, you're arguing
Let's
with me
assume I
about
was
psychology.
She doesn't and will never get it, Andrew. Hitting your head against a brick wall, bro. She won't give any real answers. True.
Spirituality and all of these things that I've literally at least gone to trade schools
So
for.
what?
What have you done?
What would that matter? Let's say I was a 6th grade dropout and I cleaned carpets for a living and was a coomer on the internet who had an open relationship with my wife. Let's say that was my background. In what world would it make me wrong to question the things that you say if you're wrong about them, regardless of whatever my degrees were in?
Because you are questioning my authority as a psychologist when you're not a psychologist.
Yeah, he's allowed to do that.
Of course!
He's allowed to do that. That was a delayed response there. But yeah, no, I mean, again, he's allowed to do that. Even if he doesn't have a degree, he's allowed to question it.
Why do I need to be the thing to question the thing?
By the way, I must say this. Her claiming she's a psychiatrist, I will say, especially with how she's been acting, I kind of question. I'm sorry. With the way she's been acting, I don't think it would be appropriate for any sort of therapist, psychologist, whatever, to conduct themselves the way she's doing.
Hey. It's like
Brian, what is going on? Where's the bear when you need it?
you can't question the medication your doctor gives you unless you're a doctor. Like what?
Questioning is one thing, but having the condescendence.
All right, shout out to Maddie. I feel for you. You're a brave, decent gal. You're a pioneer. Okay.
To actually believe that you are right over what I am trained to be right in, that's a little crossing a line, I would say.
What?
Not really. I mean, again, in terms of ethics, people are allowed to do that. Again, it was a little bit more tolerated back in the day when people were allowed to have discourse. Now we can't.
It's the line that you're crossing.
Your tone.
The tone? It's the wrong tone?
Because I am actually the authority in everything that you're talking about.
Clearly not.
Psychologically and spiritually and scholastically. So you need to get yourself in line and question me as a student of those things.
No. 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 That's some entitlement bullshit.
Because I'm actually the teacher. You're the student.
Well,
Mr. Bull donated $100. Communique from the Inquisition Patriarchy. Grand Inquisitor, have you received the autographed blue-white cup with certificate of authenticity? I am performing an audit of our inventory.
not yet.
Thank you, Mr. Boulet, but no.
Appreciate it, Mr.
I don't
Boulet.
know what that even means.
It doesn't have anything to do with this. It's
Okay.
like a show inside joke. But anyway, yeah. So by this metric, right? If somebody, let's say, is a boat maker, right, and they make for you a boat, and you say, hey, it doesn't fucking float, and they go, don't question me, I make boats.
So let me ask you something. Do you heal people's trauma?
I'm not so sure that you can heal anybody's trauma.
Yeah.
You can. Yeah, I mean, in terms of trauma, you can't. It's like, it's up to the individual to heal their own trauma. In a previous video, I discussed, certain issues that I was having, as well as, a psychiatrist, which ironically did not work out, which I kind of find it funny when Leslie is claiming that, because I'm a psychiatrist, I have the authority to say what I want, when in reality, dealing with a psychiatrist is more likely going to be a hit and miss, because they're going to tell, in terms of experience with psychiatrists, they're going to tell you just enough for them to get paid. They're not going to like, they in terms of psychiatrists, unfortunately, they're only going to say, like, especially during each session, they're going to want to try to keep you there as long as they can, so that way you can keep giving them money. And I'm only saying that out of experience because that's the way it felt like when I was dealing with my own psychiatrist. Like, nothing was ever really accomplished. Nothing was ever said that actually meant anything. And they will try to, in terms of, like, money, they would gouge you.
You can. You can.
Really?
Yeah.
Then how come you haven't healed your own?
True!
I literally have.
Well, then why do you keep on talking about how you're fucking traumatized all the time?
Yeah!
Because trauma is an ongoing thing that we continually have to process.
So you just re-traumatized every day?
Yeah, and then I have to process it every night. And
that doesn't make any sense.
That's how I don't continue it on to the next day. Remember, the Bible says don't go asleep.
So
don't fall asleep on your anger.
You're re-traumatized, and then every day you heal yourself of your trauma.
Yes, every night before I go to bed.
Every night. Okay,
yes.
so all of your old traumas that you keep appealing to is being problematic, right?
She is the science. She is the authority. Laughing emojis.
Divorces, things like this.
The bigger,
from all of
the
those,
bigger
right?
catastrophic traumas take a little bit more time. They're more complex. They don't take one night. But for example,
Well, how many nights do they take?
It just depends.
Okay, so
do you want to talk about a specific trauma and how long it took me?
So how do you heal your trauma of your divorce? How would you heal that?
The divorce wasn't the trauma.
What was the trauma?
Being with the man.
Okay, how would you heal that?
Okay.
It's been very hard.
So
Getting
not
away.
healed?
Well, it is healed in the sense that, do you really want to go into it? It's really dark.
Well, when you say healing, no, what I want to get into is this idea of healing trauma. When you say, do you heal trauma? And I go, I'm not sure you can heal trauma. You go, well, you can. And I say, well,
do you want
if
to explain
you can,
to you?
it's like saying...
there's a protocol in my book. Do you want to talk about how it's done?
Which part?
Okay.
Part of your book.
Here, let me...
Just tell me the chapter.
Oh, here, I'll have to find it. Well, I need the book to look at the chapter. Oh, here, I'll use this one. Okay. Okay, I created a protocol to explain to you how to do it.
GMD Jim donated $100. This is precisely the result of the closure of asylums back in the 80s. We now embrace this stuff. Honey, you are not trained. You have been indoctrinated by other crazy people.
I like her. Oh gosh, I think her name was Maddie, the girl in the front. She's just nodding her head like, yeah.
Okay, so right here on page 57, my method, processing severe trauma. Do you want me to redo the couple pages? It's only 2 pages, it looks like.
Or you can just...
Are you just gonna read, like, are you seriously gonna read 2 pages of your damn book?
Give me a summarization.
Well, I'd just rather read it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, why? Like, I'm kind of wondering if she doesn't actually know what the fuck she's talking about. And the only reason she's saying, oh, let's read both pages, is because she doesn't actually know what she's going on about in her book. In fact, I would have to classify that maybe her book is full of bullshit. Okay. Let's continue.
Okay, so my method, processing severe trauma. In my relentless study of anthropology, sociology, and the psychology of various individuals, I had come to realize that it was never the actual events, situations, or words spoken that traumatized people, for the most part. Rather, it was their uncontrolled, obsessive mental recalling of the situation, then the meaning they assigned to it all that really had the power to either chronically or just acutely traumatize the person. In other words, there was a reason some people were just deeply shaken and grieved by certain things, but then seemed to move on just fine, while others seemed to get stuck, severely traumatized for a lifetime. It had nothing to do with how bad, quote unquote, the traumatic event was or not. It had to do with how the person felt and then handled it after the fact. As I mentioned previously, I asked the Infinite. As I mentioned previously, I asked the Infinite to show me a way to process the loss of Steve and how to get rid of the graphic images.
So is she seriously reading the book? Like, instead of like just summarizing it, like it just seems like she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. I'm sorry, that's what it feels like.
Is from that night so that I wouldn't get PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, or any other long-term negative effects. Once I asked the question, I started receiving inspired thoughts that ended up being the practical step-by-step solution to this problem. I had been trying to help people recover from abuse and other traumas for years and never actually believed it was possible. Up until then, I believed the best people could do was learn to cope with their traumas so they didn't completely ruin their lives. Holding on to that belief created a reality for me by shutting my RAS off, so that's the reticular activating system, to any...
What?
What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck does this all mean?
Contradictory information, hence a confirmation bias. But now my mind was unlocked and I was asking my higher, infinite self better questions and believing there had to be a way. This is what was downloaded into my mind from the infinite. Okay, this is the method that came through.
Okay.
Place a meaning on the event that feels good, no matter how far you must reach.
This guy is
Remember how I
fucking
told you that the meaning we place on events is very powerful and completely within our power. I decided I would believe that everything had happened.
I'm like, as this person's talking, I'm looking at like Andrew's face. He's like, just dumbfounded of what's being said.
Exactly as it was supposed to. With Steve, my unborn baby, my marriage, my kids, and my old life that had come to an end, I also chose to believe this about all the rest of things, including my childhood and being born to my parents in the dysfunctional family. I would believe it all happened as it was supposed to. I would believe that I was an infinite spiritual being who had chosen to incarnate into this human existence because there were things that I wanted to experience that would deepen my understanding and love for myself, for life, and for other souls.
Hang on,
I would believe that my willingness to have these experiences and let them deepen.
What? This is so stupid.
You're fucking weird.
This is so like this whole like what she's saying just doesn't make any sense.
Is it just going to be a fucking book reading?
Yes, I told you that I would be able to share, and the sharing would feel really good to me.
She's just not going to stop.
These beliefs, I told you it was only 2 pages. These beliefs felt good and right.
He just said now it's a pride thing. Yeah, it is.
And empowering. So I put.
This isn't about her like getting her point across. This is about pride. She doesn't. She doesn't want to be wrong. She doesn't want to be proven wrong. And at this point, she's going to do everything within her power to prove that she's right.
Them in my thought nursery to give them attention.
What the fuck is a thought nursery? Dude, the only time I've ever heard a term like that is from the fucking movie Dreamcatcher, where you had your memory warehouse. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Seriously? The thought nursery. It's so dumb. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, this is so dumb.
And any opposing thoughts.
Okay, so Desiree, I don't know, you read the section that's pertinent to the conversation?
No,
yeah. Brian came back, he's done. He's absolutely done.
And to know my process.
Yeah, but I got your process.
Okay, so
no, you didn't. There's still more.
Okay. Yeah, we got to move it on.
Your process is you ask God and cope. That's the process.
No, it's not. It's how to release the...
They basically just summarized it. It's basically what it is.
The infinite is God, and
no, I just told you. You have to place a meaning on the event that feels good.
That's called cope.
It's not.
Yeah. You know, just out of curiosity. Yeah, well, just for a definition. I've had it on TikTok for some reason. But, what does it mean to cope? Alright. Cope. Deal with effectively with something difficult. Yeah, to cope.
Not called
That's
cope.
cope.
It's
That's
called
literally
finding
coping.
a meaning.
That is doing everything you can.
And then you have to grab...
take the event and pretend it's something other than what the event is.
No,
that is cope.
not. It's...
Yes, it is.
Agree to disagree. Grab a happy image.
That's at that point. It's not agree to disagree. That's exactly what it is.
And put it into the thought nursery. Now, if you read my book,
that term is so stupid. It is so stupid.
You would know what the thought nursery is. To dwell on for a few minutes. Let the
dude. He's even laughing at it. Like, the person's like, "Oh my god, who cares?" Like, dude, the term itself is so stupid, and I bet you. Part of me feels like she may have watched Dreamcatcher and fucking stole that term. Like, oh, there's something called the memory warehouse. I'm gonna call it the thought nursery because I can't use the memory warehouse.
better feelings associated with the happy image emerge. breathe into these better feelings and savor them. I did this as many times a day as necessary. So what I would have to do is, so the image was of my friend dead on the table, basically blue, with intubated and everything. He died, and they made me go back and see him dead on the table, and his mom wanted me to delay the coroner from taking his body. That's the only reason I had to see him dead. I don't recommend people do that. There's no fucking point. But anyway, I had to go and see this man who died in my arms first, and then they tried to resuscitate him, obviously, intubated him. He's blue on the table. His mom, I had to tell, Steve's dead. Well, I didn't tell her that, but I told her, I don't know, he's unconscious. She met me at the hospital, but on her way there, she was begging me to stall the coroner from taking his body because they wanted time for the brother to come and be able to see. I don't know why people want to traumatize themselves by doing this. Again, I don't recommend forcing yourself to see your loved one dead.
That's not necessarily trauma. That's part of the closure process.
Okay.
That is. That very much is.
Okay, well, for some it is, but for a lot of people, they get stuck on those images. For me, I got stuck with him blue, intubated, dead on the table.
People have a disconnection between what is life.
Do you want to hear how I got
exactly
over that and didn't get PTSD?
Okay, yeah, we got to move to the next point. But before I'd like to stay on this point, right? So people have a huge disconnection from what is life and what is death. Not everybody, and by the way, people used to have to deal with death a lot more. They used to have to deal with dead bodies a lot more, things like this. I don't think that it's ingrained to be traumatic necessarily. It's something that people just don't really have to deal with very much. So it becomes not personal. It always becomes somebody else is dealing with it. You're just dealing with a memory. But the thing is that when you say things like, take this thing that actually happened and put a fun, happy spin on it, so it's something that you remember fondly instead.
Yeah, that seems kind of creepy.
That is an embrace of delusion.
Yeah.
So how's that not cope?
If I can have a bit of some like extended.
Sure.
So we kind of veered off of this. I was asking how me or Andrew or the show is woman hating. I did not get an adequate response.
She about to.
Because I'm a woman.
Okay, I said this before because earlier on she like just out of the blue started acting like she was about to cry. She's doing the same thing again. Because she's being questioned with the hard questions, and she doesn't want to fucking respond to them.
And I've shared a lot with you, and it's never been met with any sort of understanding or empathy. It's only been met with hostility and like this.
Not really hostility. I mean, if anything, I mean, if you consider discourse, I'm sorry, but if you consider discourse hostility, then why the fuck are you on the internet? Or for that matter, why did you decide to come to this podcast? Because that's one of the things that they do on the air. That makes no sense. Like, why would you put yourself in that situation when you, I would have to guess, not even do the research, knowing that they do this on a daily basis? And if you couldn't handle discourse, if you couldn't handle, people not agreeing with you, then why would you attend?
Weird commitment to not understanding me.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Although I'm gonna feel, people are gonna call me an asshole. Her crying's fucking fake. Like, again, like looking at it, it was just sporadic that she just starts crying. It's especially like right after Brian asked the question, how do you classify our podcast as woman hating? I would say that's manipulative, in terms of her trying to do that.
And
can I just say the same thing to you?
Sure.
Yeah.
No empathy, no understanding.
Sure.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel.
So
again, rights for me, not for thee. Yeah, I mean, I can play victim all I want, but you can't claim that you felt victimized. Well, what a load of fucking crock. Like, seriously.
And what's that Aristotle quote about crying? Okay, so
Crying is one of the ways that the body processes the trauma in real time. That way we don't hold on to it.
Yeah, but your crying's fake. At least that's what it seems like, because you were very quick to start crying.
Is it a way to appeal to emotion to try to get people onto your side?
Yeah.
Without actually having a strong foundation or position.
Yeah.
What you're actually trying to say and argue.
That is a way that people who lack genuine empathy, that is a way that they use appeared emotion to manipulate others. But my emotion is actually
Help me, it feels like I'm stepping into the Twilight Zone.
Genuine.
Okay. Well, I don't see how that has anything to do with woman hating.
Yeah. I'm not listening. Here's my book. Buy it. I'm a victim.
I'm a healer, as women were gifted.
Question for Desiree. Do you think it's emotionally traumatic for you to essay my husband? That we already read this.
With special abilities to take on.
I'm just, look, these are words that you said.
GM Didium donated $100. Trust not a woman when she weeps, for it is her nature to weep when she wants, so will Socrates.
Socrates, yeah.
Okay, well, if you're not comfortable with me crying, I'm gonna have to go because some of the things we're talking about makes me cry.
If that's fine. I'm still just trying to understand, aside from how you felt,
I don't
think
that you are trying to understand anything.
Well, it's like they clearly try to, but some of the things that you say make no sense. Like some of the things that you've brought to the table in terms of conversation seem to be derived from delusion. At least that's what I'm getting at from this conversation. I mean, let's face it, she literally, made a comment about her, fucking the Lord, Jesus Christ. So, as well as a variety of other things. And let's not forget the fact that towards the very beginning of this little segment, she went out of her way to basically attempt to sexually assault, Andrew on the stream. So, no.
I think that you were trying to bring a point across. So just say what your point is that you would like to prove, and then I can just submit, and we can move on.
I'm not really sure if that's what I'm trying to do, but earlier in the show, you said that me and Andrew are woman-hating. The show is woman-hating. So I'm asking you to point to something specific.
I keep doing it, and you don't want to accept it, so I don't see the point in continuing the conversation. I told you that I am a woman, and I didn't feel safe, and I don't feel safe in your presence. Hence, woman-hating, because I am a representative of woman.
Well, so if I'm a man and I feel uncomfortable in your presence, does that mean you're a man-hater?
You can say that if that's how you feel.
Does it make it true? Would you agree or disagree with that statement?
That I am a man-hater?
Because I feel unsafe in your presence.
I would validate if that's how I made you feel. At least.
But would it make you a man-hater? Or would you be like, no,
it's like
possibly.
Because
if man is taking your form, then
I'm
yes.
Male. I'm a male.
I mean, okay, let me ask you this. I know I'm gonna harp on this, but does it classify as her being a man-hater when after they told her no, she goes out of her way to pull up her dress and basically try to shove her ass in a man's face without their consent? I mean, wouldn't that classify as, being a man-hater? Because the man told her no, and she did it anyways?
If man is taking your form, then yes, there is hatred there, because it's not you as a soul, it's you as an ideology coming at me and not inviting me to feel safe in your presence.
Didn't you so me and Andrew were sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting down. We were just talking. At moments, it was a lively conversation, but we were remaining in our seats. Was it Andrew, or was it me, or was it you who got out of their seat, came all the way over here, got into our physical space, and, Andrew's sitting to my left. Who was that? Was that us, or was it you?
It was me invoked by you.
Not really.
You invited me to...
I invited you to...
No, they didn't! Oh my gosh, she's just trying to find any way to fucking justify what she did. I'm sorry, like, isn't that usually what, people from that commit SA do? Like, isn't that the same thing? Isn't that? I'm sorry. Like, I'm trying to understand the logic here. I really am.
You walk over and get into our physical space.
Yes.
How did I So you're saying we consented to that?
I am saying that you didn't give a shit about my personal space emotionally.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. If you willing, you know what? I'm gonna say this. You're here willingly. You're here willingly to take part in discourse and conversation, debate, so on. I'm gonna sound like an asshole. Fuck your emotions, because in the end, you willingly took part. You gave consent to take part in this. And in terms of you basically denying other people's emotions, fuck your emotions. I hate to sound like an asshole, but it's very clear that you don't give a shit about other people's emotions. Why should people care about yours?
So I didn't give a shit about your physical space. And so
doesn't make any sense.
I gave you a taste of your own medicine, and you didn't like it.
So what was the point you were trying to prove?
Give you a taste of your own medicine,
What
and
was
so
the
you
medicine
what
which we were dispensing?
so you could feel what it feels like to be
What was
disrespected.
the medicine you claim we were dispensing?
Disrespect.
Like,
This
how did they-
conversation, while we disagree, has actually been fairly. I mean, there were times where it got a bit heated, but it's otherwise been fairly.
And times
calm.
where there was sexual assault. Let's not forget that.
I like
In any
Celsius,
case, so when it comes to your safety, and this being evidence of woman hating,
Yeah.
we've remained here. While you might disagree with what we say, you got out of your chair,
Yeah.
walked around the table. We didn't know if you were going to strike us or what you were going to do.
You were scared. Did I scare you?
Why are you smiling when you say that? That's interesting.
This lady's a fucking psychopath. You know, it's funny she tried to claim, Andrew being the psychopath, but no, she's the fucking psychopath.
Because it makes me feel more safe to know that maybe I have some sort of
Power
in your presence.
Yeah, this is the first time I watched this. I thought she was going to say power. She literally just said it. She wanted fucking power. She wanted fucking control. That's what she wanted. That's what she wanted to display. Again, rights for thee, or rights for me, not for thee.
You do realize women have capacity for violence?
I'm not a fighter, you could say.
Well, hold on. We don't know that. Like,
Well,
you could have come over here, smacked me in
Ulysses the
face.
Pagan donated $100. What did you think coming on a podcast debate meant? A debate is adversarial in nature. When you tone police, it equates to you have nothing to say and the purpose to derail the conversation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can I ask you a question? So going back to you felt unsafe in the emotional space.
Yeah.
So you, as retribution, you wanted to make us feel unsafe in the physical space.
Correct.
And that's why you got out of your chair,
Correct.
walked all the way around
Correct.
here. And I mean, we didn't know if you were going to try to strike Andrew.
Correct.
He's closer.
Correct.
But you essentially pulled up your
Correct.
your
Yes.
dress.
Yes.
And put
Yes.
your ass right in his
Yes.
space.
Yes. So I wanted you to understand the height of how you guys affect me emotionally and spiritually. It was like that.
So do you think other forms of I would
rather you
hold on,
beat
hold
me.
on.
I would literally rather
Hold on.
you
What the fuck is wrong with this lady?
punch me in the
Well,
face.
I'm not interested in doing that. So hold on. Would you say that even if I don't categorize what you did specifically as a violent act, using
Wilson's underscore wife donated $100. Wow, that was quite a journey. We've been through vibrations, colonialism, feminism, scam, black slave souls locked in sexy white bodies, spores, tears, showing ass, riding Jesus D1CK.
all right, Wilson's wife, thank you, appreciate it. If somebody is making you feel unsafe in your mental or emotional space, saying even not categorizing what you did.
Gender is almost relevant here. As humans, we don't claim this thing at the table.
Is violence justified as retribution if somebody makes you feel unsafe? Physical violence makes you feel unsafe in the emotional or psychological space?
Yeah, it's called eye for an eye. You reap what you sow.
That's so fucking childish. That is so childish.
So, just so I understand this correctly, you would have also been justified to, for example, like, try to physically assault Andrew in that moment also?
I believe I would, yes.
Right. Would you have been legally justified?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
I believe I could get away with it.
You're on fucking camera, dumbass.
Megadeth 188 donated $100. This is what she does. She is the first to attack people personally, then she cries to gain sympathy.
Yeah.
She is a manipulator. That's why she told you she might harm herself.
Before you get up
Sympathy and manipulation.
There we go. Okay, that's the end of that segment. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start with this. I think I've said a lot. I mean, in terms of like, you know, in terms of like watching the podcast, like I said, it's a place of discourse. People are allowed to discuss their thoughts and feelings. People willingly and consent to going onto the show. You have this woman who is spewing all these fucking, like, just nonsensical ideas. And then when she's called out, she not only tries to emotionally attack the person that she's having discourse with, but then proceeds to invade his personal space, try to sexually assault him, and, you know, tries to justify her own actions. I'm sorry, no. Like, this woman, you know, being a psychiatrist, I don't know who the hell would hire her. It's fucking insane. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. It's going to be a long one. If you have any thoughts, let me know. Leave in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you guys next video.